For the first time in the 21st century, the hot rod Roddy Piper whipped out Piper's Pit. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. We're on the road to Backlash. Roddy Piper looking a wee bit fat, a wee bit out of shape. He makes his big return to the WWE on the blue brand tonight. But before we get to that, it's Brock Lesnar. Here comes the pain. He wasn't there last week. Well, he's here this week. He arrives. We have got CM Punk. We have got a bunch of other jabronis from Florida Championship Wrestling demanding the signature of Brock Lesnar. He doesn't sign CM Punk's tits because he signs a woman's tits instead. Then we have champion versus champion. Brock Lesnar versus Matt Hardy. WWE title against Cruiserweight Championship. These two have had a mini feud for what seems to be like a year at this point. I'm all for it. I like the matches. I like the fact that Matt Hardy's actually turned the Cruiserweight Championship into a belt that's supposed to be taken serious. And I like being serious. Do you like being serious?
Oh, I love my serious wrestling. This was a serious match. Matt Hardy trying to make a statement, trying to beat WWE Champion, possibly even become #1 contender with a said victory. But no, it wasn't to be. Brock Lesnar came out on top, and I guess that's why Brock is the real champ, and Matt's just the champion of the little guys.
He's the paperweight champion. Sharon Moore tried to interfere, but an F5 later, and it's all over for Matt Hardy. We then got a special video package of Piper's Pit. We've seen numerous versions of it back in, 1983, 1987, and I believe there was one in 91. Not the biggest fan of Piper's Pit. To be honest, this show probably had the best Piper's Pit I've ever seen. I mean, smashing a coconut over Kamala's head, right? Or having a snake for Jake the Snake Roberts sliver around his pit. Does that do anything for you? Because it doesn't do anything for me.
No, but McMahon being on Piper's Pit, that certainly does something.
Exactly. Then we got a mixed tag team match. We got Torrie Wilson and Brian Kendrick against Jamie Noble and Nydia. Sable comes out, rush. Comes out, sits down, watches the match. It was never going to be a wrestling clinic, but I tell you what, as mixed tag matches go, I think this period of wrestling did them the best.
Agreed. It wasn't like phony shit like today where it was awkward, people waiting around, waiting to get tagged. Oh wait, you're in the ring, I can't attack you, I can't go after you because you're a woman. Everything just seemed to flow better, and we actually had interactions between all four members of each team. And to me, that's better. Seeing you've got these mixed tags where the men can only fight the men, and what's the fucking point of them? Like, seriously, why not just have two singles matches? I personally don't get it. It makes no difference. Tag team wrestling, you're supposed to work as a team. If you can't do anything to 50% of your opponents, then you can't really work as a team.
No, I totally agree. And the problem with modern wrestling is when you're right, it's when half of them can't work against each other. It's a pathetic look, right? And you know what? It's not even the fact they can't work against each other, it's the way they go around it. It's awful. Like, the guys just stand there and do nothing. Like, why not make it look like they're going to do something, but then they don't? But no, they don't. But I tell you what, TORRIE hit Nydia with a spinning DDT. As Sable applauded for ringside as she...
TORRIE
defeated Nydia. But I tell you what, guys, up next, the mic quality went down the drain. It was a backstage promo. Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit and Rhino. What do they all have in common? Nope, they're not all murderers. Yes, they all are pish on the mic.
Well, I don't know, maybe Brock Lesnar could have been a murderer in a different lifetime.
Definitely could
I
have
think if
been.
he pissed them off, like, he certainly could.
Tonight's
a bit of damage to you.
And a gore definitely could kill someone, but in all seriousness, this one was a sore one. Forget about gore, sore. You know, when Brock is the best guy comfortably on the mic in a promo, you've got to question who else is in it, man. Pretty much, though, Benoit's like, congratulations, Brock. You're the one true warrior. Then Rhino's like, it's gonna be me or you, Benoit, take on him on in the tournament. And it's just like, both of you are going to battle out, you are both sore, but you are soon going to find out the real definition of here comes the pain. It was alright, but you can definitely see who's got the talkers when it comes between Raw and SmackDown in 2003. I mean, no, this was just a Nathan Jones appearance away from a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I mean, SmackDown's got the wrestlers, Raw's got the entertainers.
They do. And speaking of wrestling, we got Chris Benoit versus Rhino. The winner will take on the winner of Cena and Undertaker later on tonight, and obviously that match will be next week. But this is a very good match between Benoit and Rhino. Two different styles. You know what? I like Rhino, and it's a shame that he missed like so much of. I mean, well, I think he's missed like the last 18 months, obviously. He got fired quite weirdly after Invasion 2001, around that time. But obviously, kayfabe firing because he was injured. It was a broken neck. He's back. Benoit then, weirdly as fate suggests, suffers the exact same injury, but Benoit returned in a wee bit less of time. And we had a very good match here between these two. Chris Benoit pins Rhino with a backward slide pinfall, back and forth, but I think the correct guy won. I mean, as much as I like Rhino, and he's still very, I mean, Rhino's very young at this point, but he's never going to main event Mania and beat Michaels and Triple H.
Well, he doesn't have to. All he has to do is qualify. All he has to do is advance to the next round. I mean...
No, he doesn't, but I can see why Benoit and Guerrero got their Mania matches. It's like, as much as I like Rhino, he's not quite the guy that can win the world title.
Yeah, but this isn't for Mania. This is, I mean, this is a SmackDown.
No, I know it's not, but I think the correct guy went over here.
I don't know. I think Rhino's capable of losing to John Cena in a final, but it is what it is.
Right, yeah. Up next, we've got Torrie Wilson. She is shouting. In comes Sable. She's like, oh, you did pretty well in your match tonight, Torrie. And then takes the tile away. The heel maneuver here.
Leaves Torrie. Well, I mean, I think a lot of guys would have thought it was a face maneuver, to be fair.
Aye, a face maneuver.
I don't think many people's booing Sable's decision to steal Torrie's towel.
It was the most babyface maneuver I've ever seen since Big John Cena whipped out the heel turn.
It's the new Hulk Hogan.
The new Hulk Hogan, brother. But I wonder if Torrie Wilson's got any resentment towards
all
this
the
move.
men are running wild.
You know what I mean? This is an actual storyline here between these two that's been building like for what, 2 weeks, like a week at this point, 2 shows, and it's better than anything you get the day into. You can clearly see there's a direction here and a story. Like Sable's trying to manipulate her, and like I'm the only real woman here on SmackDown, and people are like, oh, this is garbage. This is just sexualizing women. We want them to wrestle. They can't wrestle, so you use their strengths. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Absolutely. And you know what, man? People are liars. See all these people that say they love women's wrestling today. I mean, they're still the main reason they still care and want to see it's because of looks. It is what it is. See all these people that you've seen Stephanie Fakir coming in and Julia coming in, and people only like them because they're attractive. They don't like them because of their wrestling ability. They really don't. See if those two look like Shayna Baszler, nobody would care. But anyway, I care about 2003, so I'm not going to talk about 2024.
No, because it's absolutely awful. But because Sable took the tile, she forced Torrie to walk across the room topless and get the tile on that way. Did Vince McMahon book it? Probably. But you know what? It was some good shit.
Where was the cameras?
Where was the cameras? Well, I'll tell you what, the cameras are pointing.
We need what the FU is it? The hidden cameras?
The FU, that's what we needed here, but we didn't quite get it. But Vince McMahon...
Yeah, I reckon McMahon probably had his own hidden camera.
Oh, fuck, aye, absolutely. McMahon, though, the cameras are on him. Piper's pit is being set up. He says he's feeling quite happy because he eliminated and he terminated Hulkamania last week. Then he introduces...
Hey, McMahon, it's no Royal Rumble cam, dude.
Roddy Piper. Yeah, I battered that bastard. That old bastard. And then what I think proceeds here next is probably a shoot between Piper and McMahon.
Yeah, it was like half shoot, wasn't it? Half kayfabe, but it was a good shoot. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a better wrestler than you, or something like that, or oh, your wife does this, or oh, pipe bomb, or you wear your wife's clothing, or any of that shit that somebody would say at Seth Rollins. This was like pure fucking real digs at each other, talking about their personal, well, more so Roddy, I think. McMahon's basically calling him fat.
Yeah, I mean, McMahon's like, I made Piper, and then Piper's like, I didn't make Piper. Piper made Piper.
Your daddy's money made you, McMahon.
So sit down. McMahon's like, look at that belly. What's a Scotsman keep under his kilt? It's a beer belly. Your past was a long time ago, brother. Piper then tells McMahon that he did create Hulkamania. And then he looks at the camera and is like, he did it. So they basically agree on their hatred for Hogan. But so it's like weird though. What is Piper supposed to be here? A tweener? Is he a face but he just hates Hogan, so he's willing to work with McMahon, who he just openly admitted to that he hates it?
Or is he a heel that hates McMahon?
Yeah, and then he like...
I liked it though, this, because it was blurring the lines. You see after this, honestly, you don't know whether you should be rooting for Piper or hating Piper. It was...
Yeah.
I mean, one minute you're like, yeah, Piper's bashing McMahon, and the next minute you're like, oh no, Piper's attacking Hogan. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Piper brings up McMahon started out as a failed rock and roll promoter. Then he did the World Bodybuilding Federation, then the XFL.
Yeah, but just basically bringing up all McMahon's failures. The only one you didn't fail was the one your daddy made. But this, outside of the Hogan McMahon promo for a couple of weeks ago, I think this was the best thing on SmackDown in a long time. And it might have even been better than that McMahon Hogan thing.
No, I agree. Totally agree.
I mean, I'm talking months. I think this is the best thing we've seen in months.
I think this had better substance, but I think the other one had like more passion.
Aye.
But here, it just shows you, see, blurring the lines can be done so well if executed
No, but how
right.
interesting is this, and not somebody saying, "Oh, tonight we'll hear from this person," or the ring announcer, "Please welcome Seth Rollins," or
Akira Tozawa's walking into the arena with his duffel bag with size 4 goodies.
it's just fucking shite. Look at wrestling today when the wrestlers go back and forward, man. How boring is it? And it's the most basic.
They wait for their cue, and then the other guy waits for his
See
cue.
this, man, you've got, it feels like a legit real argument. You've got people arguing over, stepping out, cutting each other off.
You're a son of a bitch. It takes a son of a bitch to know a son of a bitch, McMahon.
No,
Some good shit,
honestly, man, see when people watch this, or when they watch that McMahon Hogan promo from a few weeks, how can you watch them and then have the audacity to say, "Oh, the Triple H era's better, Triple H is a better booker than McMahon," or, and I get it, you can say, "Oh well, McMahon doesn't," but it's not about who booked the segments or who put. It's about the era that they're in. McMahon's in charge of this era. Look at the era Triple H is in charge of. One's fucking great, one's fucking shite. You know.
And it's quite that simple. But McMahon leaves. Rikishi then comes out, kind of dressed like he was in 2000.
I'm a bad man.
He comes out with a coconut.
I'm a big ass.
What's he gonna do with the coconut?
Yeah, so obviously we know the story. Piper smashed the coconut over the head of Jimmy Snuka, and Rikishi, because he is Samoan, and I mean Snuka's some sort of Samoan. I mean, basically, if you're from, I don't know, if you were born, then you're pretty much related to Rikishi or the Snukas or the Inoas.
No, I'll be, I'm being brutally honest here.
It's
right?
a fucking stretch, man. See, saying that Rikishi is related to Jimmy Snuka, it's like saying Roddy Piper's related to the Highlanders. I mean, there's no much in it, like, yeah, that's what
I was going to get to, right? Do you think this is a WWE thing or a American thing where they think we're all dumb as fuck? Do you actually think that all these guys are related by some way in their bloodline, or do you think it's been over-exaggerated to fuck?
I don't even think they're actually related by, like, in terms of birth. I think that I know they created some sort of blood bond, but you know, I mean, that would be like going out to a random guy in the street and you both cut the palms, each other's hands, and you shake hands. Oh, that's us related now because we've shared blood. It's like, no,
that's weird, isn't it?
Not really. You know, it's
Samoans are lucky one of them didn't have AIDS. Could have wiped the whole tree out.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's something along those lines. They're not actually all related.
Aye, just some of them are. Is our point.
Some of them are. I mean,
but
look, the family tree's that big. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, he's related to him, but he's not related blood to him. It's basically just a. If you're born in Samoa or the Pacific Islands or something, just say hi. You're not related.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, right, this was good. Sean O'Hare comes out of nowhere, clotheslines Rikishi, and then smashes all the stuff over the back of him as Piper then whips out the coconut. Breaks into pieces. I mean, it was weird seeing Rikishi and Sean O'Hare out there end the segment between Piper and McMahon, but it was some good shit. I enjoyed it. Right, Team Angle against Tajiri and Rey Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka. Charlie Haas and Benjamin cut a promo before the match. Sean Benjamin's like, the Chicago Bears they wish they had a captain like we have a captain. Kurt Angle. Shelton Benjamin on the mic, man. He belongs with the guys earlier. Shelton Benjamin's awful on the mic, and people are like, "Oh, why has it took him to the age of 50 to get a chance in a company? Because he fucking sucks. That's why, man. He's only known for his wrestling."
Yeah, and he is a good wrestler. I'm not going to sit here. You know what? And I'll be honest, man. I don't even think there's a difference between being a great amateur wrestler and a professional wrestler, because people you just need to stop and realize professional wrestling is an amateur. It's two completely different things. Kurt Angle did an amazing job, right, transitioning from Olympic wrestling to WWE wrestling. It's not the same fucking thing. Just because you might be a good amateur wrestler, that has got nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you being a professional wrestler. It just doesn't. Shawn Michaels wasn't an amateur wrestler. He's the best performer inside a WWE ring or any other wrestling ring ever.
See, Shelton Benjamin, right? I think he's fine in the Money in the Bank match, right? If you want a guy to whip out a T-bone suplex. But see, if you've got a Money in the Bank match full of 6 Shelton Benjamins, and what I mean by that is like, it's very similar where they're boring as hell, but they can wrestle. That's what you've got in modern day wrestling. You need stars and you need guys that can talk, and for him, he ain't that. And neither's Charlie Haas, but Rey Mysterio actually picks up the victory here for him and Tajiri.
And you know what? This has actually dampened SmackDown for me, because every time now you hear that Kurt Angle music, you just don't know whether to get excited or not. Yeah. Normally when you hear Angle's music, you're like, right, things are about to get good. See, when you hear the music now, your first thought is, right, is it actually going to be Angle, or is it going to be those two guys that are weighing him down?
Well, yeah, he needs to come back soon, but...
Honestly, one of the most overrated factions I've ever seen.
No, absolutely. Interview though, Josh Matthews interviews the dead man. Undertaker is here, and Cena says, he showed a lack of respect, boy, and tonight I'm going to wrap this chain around his throat and choke it out of him. Then, alright, the scariest thing on the show, right, this would make Undertaker quiver in his boots. Nathan Jones' in-ring debut against Bill DeMott.
Yeah, I didn't have much... I didn't have much hopes for this match when I seen that it was happening. Nathan Jones, who's his opponent going to be? It's Bill DeMott. I was like, right, okay. Match really did suck. There was just nothing there. You know what? I don't get it, man. Like, Bill DeMott, I feel, was actually pushed for a wee bit over the last 3 months. And I'm not saying Nathan Jones shouldn't be beating Bill DeMott, but I wouldn't have gave Bill DeMott to Nathan Jones first. You could have had Nathan Jones beat a couple of cruiserweight guys and then have a step up in competition. I think they dropped the ball here. Normally they're pretty good with debuts, but I don't know if Bill DeMott was the right guy. Although I guess you could argue it's more impressive.
You say they're normally pretty good with debuts. Could it just be that this guy is absolutely abysmal and it doesn't matter what you do with him? He is as stiff goes, man. This guy comes down to the ring, walking up. I mean, honestly, it's like he's doing his best Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator impersonation. He just can't loosen up.
No, I'm not. I just think that, I mean, personally, I wouldn't have had his debut be against Bill DeMott, but...
Well, technically his debut was backstage by Chuck Palumbo in a closed door behind the locker room door match.
That is true.
But he's awful, right? And you know what? They've got tough enough for a reason at this point, even though I don't agree with it.
I mean, he might be tough enough, but is he good enough? Absolutely fucking not.
Is there a problem here, mate? Your fucking ability in the ring, your mics, he doesn't even have a look, right? Yeah, he's a big bastard who's bald, right? But it's like, this guy has... I'm even surprised they managed to cast him in The Condemned. You know why? Because it's like, how did they even get him to not look as stiff? You know what I mean?
It's a movie, like...
No, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, how did this guy even get onto TV? And you can... there's a reason why the guy got moved on to SmackDown rather than Raw. Because it was taped.
Oh, aye. I mean, can you imagine putting this guy in a live Raw match? Recipe for disaster.
Like, Kurt Angle came out recently and said he didn't like the fact SmackDown was taped and he liked the jeopardy he had over on Raw. Fuck, I mean, I respect that. I genuinely believe that Kurt Angle relished when it was live. See Nathan Jones, man, his arse would have folded if it was live.
And maybe that's why you look at SmackDown and that was the era of all the big guys.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, Nathan Jones wins. It's just some awful spots in here, but none will ever be as bad as when he came out in that match with A-Train and Big Show and his legs fell and he was sitting on the back of his heels looking up at them. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was just fucking atrocious. Anyway, backstage, we've got Nunzio. He files a report with the police about $1,200 being stolen. Plumbo and Stamboli point out the fact that a laptop's been stolen, also a watch, but the police are like, right, we don't really care about that. We only care about the $1,200. And they're like, we've got an idea who might have done it. So they pin it on Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones, is there a problem here, officer? It's like,
Taker didn't take it too well.
Is this because he's a man? He's done time down under? He'll never get rid of his rap sheet? Is there a problem here, mate? Mark Calloway, you're taking me to jail. That's probably the last time I ever seen the guy.
Taking me down under.
Taking me down under, mate.
Down under, lock the door, lock the keys, don't let him back out, bye-bye. You know what? Nathan, he's fun to laugh at, isn't he? Like,
yeah, but it's not what they went for.
No. He's kind of just so bad at it. Kind of
right, you get something so bad, but then you get something so good. I think this is match of the year on SmackDown. Easy peasy. John Cena, Taker. #1 contender semi-final tournament match. What a match. Cena wins. You know, Cena brought a lot of offense in this match I don't think we've ever seen before. The shoulder tackle.
Yeah, I mean, Cena was showing everything, and as green as he is, I mean, see all these years.
Compare Cena and Jones.
I know, like, all these people that say Cena can't wrestle, like...
No, this is fantastic.
I disagree.
No, I loved this match. Like,
I may have been guilty of saying that once as well at one point in time, like...
See this match here, like, I mean, I don't think it wasn't booked like a Mania match, but fuck, this could have main evented any pay-per-view other than Mania for me.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It's not like it wasn't a technical classic, but it was a good wrestling match. You know, it was.
I mean, Cena working the elbow that the commentators put over that Taker has put off because he doesn't want surgery yet because he wants to win the title.
And Cena.
They tell a story. You fucking believe. You care. Cena works the arm, and that's why he wins because he work. Yes, he gets lucky. The FBI came out right because he needed that extra boost, and that's what Cena needs at this point. Cena shouldn't be beating Taker clean, and he doesn't beat him clean. But he worked the match, and he got help from the FBI, which is the entire storyline going into this with Nathan Jones and Taker against the FBI. And look, we're talking about the FBI here. 3 jobbers, Nathan Jones, Taker, who's arguably in the worst fucking period of his career, and a green Cena, and they make it work. Because guess what? It was good back here.
No, it was great. Nathan Jones isn't there to help Taker, and it becomes 4-on-1. John Cena, steel chair, bang, gets the win, defeats Taker, moves on to the finals, the #1 contender. Tournament, John Cena, young kid, new kid on the block, moving into the final, getting pushed. Great match with Undertaker. Undertaker holding his own, looking strong, taking 4 guys to beat him. Doesn't lose anything here, and obviously now it just advances the feud that he's got with the FBI. I guess we'll have to wait and see next week if Morgan Jones or Nathan Jones can get released.
I see where.
We'll need to see if he can get released and help the Undertaker, or is the Undertaker going to have to go at 3-on-1 against the FBI? That's the big questions that we'll need to find out next week, and it's also a little finals match between John Cena, Benoit. Winner goes on to take Brock. So really good ending to SmackDown. John Cena already showing that he is going to be one of the next breakout stars, and well, I mean, he's probably already kind of at that point, but I mean, if you had to say to me who's going to be the next like legit main eventer, I would say John Cena from what we're seeing in 2003.
Oh, absolutely. No two ways about it. He's the only guy that's anywhere up that level who's new.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at all the new... Obviously, Brock's already there. But, I mean, outside of Brock, it is John Cena, so...
Yeah, I thought it was the best SmackDown in a while. Again, it wasn't consistently great, but there was some great stuff. I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, no, I'll give it a 7 as well. You know what? I'll give it an 8. I'm gonna get an 8.
7.5 out of 10.
I mean, it had the best match that we've seen this year, and arguably the best promo that we've seen this year. And I think if you can deliver both of them on the same week, then that's a good show.
It's a goddamn good show.
And it had some other good stuff in there. It's not like outside of those two things it sucked. You know, there's some other good stuff. So
absolutely.
8 out of 10 for me, 7 out of 10 for you, 7.5 out of 10 combined. That's it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one, top 5 moments. Then we move on to Raw, and we are getting closer to Backlash, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I am indeed, but until then, peace.